everybody. Welcome to TRS Live. I am your host, Matt Trotz. We are live overlooking the sales floor of the Real Shot. And our goal here at TRS Live is to bring you a bunch of awesome products at some top-notch savings. So we're going to go over a couple of products. Our goal is to start out with Monday, Wednesday, Friday on the schedule for an hour a day going live, talking about 3 to 5 products that we feel are great savings to you, but are the products that you need and you want. So we're going to cover everything from fishing to archery to hunting to firearms to, did I leave anything out?
I think you got it all.
I think we covered it all. So that's our goal here at TRS Live. If you haven't yet, please follow us, like us, subscribe to us. You're probably watching this on all of the Real Shot channels. That means The Real Shot, TRS Live. You're watching it on Fix TV. And if you're a Fix TV member, bloop, 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 here's some cool news. They actually get some kind of fun put into their TRS account as a Fix TV member. So you're going to check that on out too for some awesome savings. So we're going to get rolling right away today, and we have some great products. And this first one, really, they set us up, Kyle Carpenter, who's joining me right here, for a home run. And what we're talking about today is the Berkley Power Bait Max Scent Flatworm.
The Flatworm.
And people are like, what? I can't find these anywhere. Well, we got them right here, and we're gonna save you some money with this product today. So here we go. First of all, I gotta ask you a question. Kyle Carpenter, you're joining me today. When is the last time you were smallmouth fishing?
32 hours ago.
32 hours ago. Okay, and this is the
I actually
reason.
caught some on this too.
That's why I wanted you in here for this, because the thing about it is, when you were out smallmouth fishing, did you fish 1 day, 2 days, 5 days?
I fished 2 days this last time.
2 days. Tell our fans out there roughly how many smallmouth you caught in those 2 days.
At least one.
See, right there is your sign. This guy caught so many smallmouth, he can't even freaking remember it.
At least one.
At least one. 100, 200, 300, doesn't matter. The reason we have you in here is because you are a smallmouth guru.
I love them brown bass.
You do. Sure. The bronzies. You know what? I heard the name the other day. It was the gravel grouper.
The gravel grouper?
Gravel grouper, dude.
That's a good one.
That's a sweet name for smallmouth.
That is a good one.
That is a sweet, sweet name. So we're talking about the Max Scent, the Berkley Flatworm, and the 4 1/4 inches.
This bait is probably one of the hardest baits to get in the last year.
Yeah.
There's a couple tournaments actually up in Door County and one on Thousand Islands that made this bait crazy popular, and I mean, we searched and searched and searched to get them, and we got them. So
we got them, and we're talking about 3 select colors today. I got to go to my cheat sheet here. We got Goby, green pumpkin, and green pumpkin watermelon. Probably the most popular colors you could look for.
Yeah, Goby is a very popular color up in this neck of the woods, up Bay of Green Bay, Great Lakes, anything really clear water. Green pumpkin's great everywhere. Probably the #1 color all around across the country in any type of bait. And then the green pumpkin watermelon is another great color, especially clear water, gives it another look, more bait fishy pattern. It covers the 2 spectrums of for me, the best colors on the bay.
On the bay. So let's talk a little bit about here. And as we go through this, Aaron, who's producing this show, feel free to bring up some bigger images as we get in a little tighter. So again, the colors we're hitting on today are Goby, green pumpkin, and green pumpkin watermelon, all in that 4 1/4 inches. And for those who are just tuning in, you're going to go over to thereelshot.com. That's where you're going to find all these products. And I'm going to make life really easy for you, because all you have to do is, while you're over there, hit this, right? So go BPBMSF. Type that into the search bar on thereelshot.com. That's going to bring this product up. You're going to be able to take advantage of that. But if you're a Fix member, remember to sign in. Heck, while you're over there, just sign in to begin with.
$5.49 a pack?
Yeah. We're crazy this morning.
I'm seeing this for the first time. $5.49 a pack?
Yeah, so we're saving you $1 a pack.
Scotty Piper, get online and order me some of these things, would you? Because they ain't gonna last.
Well, they're not gonna last. And we have certain inventories. We have what we feel are a good amount, but not until right now, because we're gonna talk about these great colors. So let's talk about, first of all, the Max Scent and why that is a popular thing to have. You want to go about that?
Max Scent has created a monster. There's always been scents. All baits have some sort of scents built into them.
Yep.
Salt being the #1. Salt is there for multiple reasons. But the Max Scent has brought a totally different aspect to it. When you take these baits out of the package, they actually feel wet.
Yes.
They actually feel moist and soft. And
you can see it. I mean, it's hard to see in my hand, but that's not sweat. That's
right, that is actual, this one's been on the table a little bit, so the wetness does wear off a little bit. But what it was designed to do is when the fish grab it, they hang on 30% longer. Well, when you got concrete hands like me and you can't feel anything, I need that 30% longer.
Right.
So when you, this is rigged up in a different way, a drop shot on a straight chain hook. This is the 4.25 bait here compared to the shorter one. So I like to rig this one this way because for one, you'll get more fish out of it. It has, you actually thread the bait on and there is a keeper on here. This is the just a swivel lock type hook.
Yeah, it's a gamma hook. We got it at the floor of the reel shot.
So this stays on here really tight. You can catch multiple fish with this. That's one way to rig it. And when these fish grab a hold of this, they hang on to it. They're up to 30% longer. So you definitely need that.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, so if anybody's watched Head to Head, especially last year, Berkley was a good supporter of Head to Head, and we got the opportunity, I myself in particular, to talk to some of the people at Berkley. And holy man, they are fishing nerds over there, and I say that in a great way because you know, some of the guys we talked to, you know, Dan and all the other crew there, like this is what they live and breathe 24/7. And you know, a little bit of history on Berkley as we get into this product is like Berkley began in 1937, Cal. That's a long time when they started this product. And how it really started is I got Berkley Biddell was selling paper, right? He was on a paper route, took $50 because he was tying his own handmade flies from chicken feathers in the backyard and dog hair. Tie them up and he was selling them to local sports shops. And he took $50 from that paper route and he invested it into Berkley. So in 1937,
That's an investment
as a 16-year-old dude, the guy started Berkley. And now you can find it everywhere, especially here at the Reel Shot and on TRS Live.
Yeah, TRS.com. If you want to find these in these select colors are the ones that are on sale.
So why don't we do this, Aaron? Let's, as we're talking about it, if we mind. So green pumpkin watermelon, we can kind of a little bit elaborate on that. Goby and also green pumpkin are the three colors. So there you see them on your screen.
That's
so this is the
green pumpkin watermelon.
Yeah.
It's got a green pumpkin back, got black flake in it. There's the green pumpkin, that's the Goby. Like I said, the next one would be green pumpkin. Green pumpkin's probably the most versatile color all around the country. I don't care where you're at. If there's any kind of bait fish in the system, you're gonna wanna throw a flatworm. It's not just a smallmouth bait.
Yep.
That's one thing that there's a misconception is they made this bigger one for largemouth fishing as well. You know, feel free to use this and you can Texas rig it. You can do all kinds of different things with it. It's really, really finesse. Another great option with these baits is to Ned rig it. Everybody's Ned rigging right now.
Yeah.
Everybody makes a Ned bait. Well, this bait was designed to be drop shotted.
Yep.
But dragging that on the bottom with an accent.
Here, can you just hold that like just about a line here? Look, I mean, this is a great looking bait. That's a great looking setup, and this is just shows the versatility of it.
Put it in front of your shirt. Everybody will see it.
Look at it. Look at how bright it is. Hey, we're crazy here, but like, I mean, I love the fact that you can Ned this thing. You can do a lot of different things, and like we covered a little bit on TRS Live that what will be coming forth here is, you know, an O-ring for wacky rigging.
Yep.
Some of the smaller O-rings that are on the market.
Nico rigging.
Nico rigging. I mean, even drop shotting, maybe that little bit of band on there, a smaller band might hold that bait in place a little bit longer. But that's the cool thing about the Max Scent is not only does it have the fish catching smells and taste that bass and walleye and every other fish out there loves, but they also are able to make it pretty darn durable and still have that flexibility that you know, and that's going to give this thing the action. And look, we could talk about the action too. I mean, the flat bottom, I mean, that's going to help for a lot more movement when you're trying to entice a bass.
When you free fall this bait, the flat bottom helps it fall and it glides. It doesn't just fall nose forward or tail down. It actually glides in the water a little bit because of that flat surface on the bottom. The top part of it has some water movement with the ribs built in it. Yep. So it's going to move some water, create some attraction for the fish on top of the scent. So great baits. I used a ton of these. This color right here, I mean, last year when we got to 30 packs, I bought 10 30 packs and I went through them last fall. So
well, and that's the thing. I mean, at the prices we're selling it at, here's the deal, everybody, right? Like, we're here to save you money, especially right now. We're in the heat of the year. Like, the smallmouth bite is going. If you go further north, you can chase the spawn. I mean, the largie bites, depending on where you are, some largemouth are on bed, some are moving off the water temps. I mean, right now is the time. Walleyes in particular, too. I mean, they're so versatile of this bait that, I mean, it's the time to get it. So while you're on your screen right now, I know you're watching this on all the social media pages affiliated with The Real Shot. Bring up that thereelshot.com channel and enter it in. It's BPBMSF. That's going to take you right to the Berkley Flatworm in the max scent. And again, the 3 colors we're talking about today are Gobi, green pumpkin, and then the green pumpkin watermelon.
Yep. You know, outside of just the normal drop shotting or Ned rigging, there's been times where I wacky rig this on a drop shot as well.
Thank you. I was thinking that as well.
Yeah, wacky rig it on a drop shot. There's just some days they want that bait moving a little bit more, or a little more aggressive, and you can get that by wacky rigging it on a drop shot.
The bigger profile that's going to help for bigger bites too, right?
Yeah, I mean, in theory, right? You know, a smallmouth will eat. I was talking to Justin Munt this morning. He said he had a largemouth hit his bucktail musky fishing this weekend. So they're opportunistic feeders. If they see it, they're going to eat it. You know, so if I wouldn't be afraid to throw this bait anywhere, any species. And again, that's the wacky rig. It still has the same action. You know, there's times when you sight fish where you want a super light weight. You can shorten up your lead on your drop shot with a 1/8 or 16th ounce drop shot weight and get this bait in front of them fish.
So like while people are on the Real Shot website and they're adding some of these max scent Berkley 4 1/4 inch flatworms to it, like we have kind of some of the baits here, or some of the hooks and the sinkers and everything like that. That's one thing too. I mean, because we're saving you money on the max scent product, add some of these in here. We got the Berkley, this is a Ned style head right there with the keeper on it. That thing's awesome.
Yeah, it's a Berkley half head. I just about yard saled them all. It's a Berkley half head. This is a 1/0 1/8 ounce. We have multiple different sizes and colors. Well, they're gonna go.
Yep.
I'm just gonna put them right there. And then this hook here, the one I was talking about, is just the Gamakatsu Finesse. It actually has the swivel built right in it, so you don't get that line twist. You know, one thing with drop shotting, you're gonna get line twists, and you have to be prepared for it, where that hook, that bait spins free on there.
Crazy.
So you don't have to worry about, it's a little bulkier in the, you know, on the nose of the bait, but
well, I like the fact that that's how you rig this one. You know, this one you have nose rigged with a lot less bulk to it, right? On this hook here, you have a lot less bulk to it. You don't have to be quite as hidden with the hook. But this side, because like you said, that swivel. See, the other thing that's nice about the swivel, and obviously we're talking about the max scent products here from Berkley, the flatworms. But I mean, just the swivel it makes it easier for anglers that are maybe just getting into that drop shot world.
Yeah,
to rig this up. Tie your favorite knot on the top end, and this is just a snaps, or just kind of slides into that line.
just a clip, line
and
clip.
that's nice, because if the weight breaks off, like it kind of fell off here for you.
Well, and you can adjust your lead a lot quicker that way too. You don't have to retie anything. The other hook we have here is just the Gamakatsu Old Reliable Split Shot hook. I've been using this hook for years for drop shotting, and there's multiple ways to rig this as well. This is just the nose hook over the top, or sorry, from under the nose. You know, a lot of people traditionally just straight nose hook it.
Yep.
So it's just hanging through the hook. There's not a wrong way to do it. You can thread this on as well onto this hook. Without the keeper, it won't stay on as much, but if you're in that scenario where you feel like you don't need as much action, you're just dead sticking that bait in their face, you can thread it on that way as well. Multiple ways to rig these. They're not just drop shot baits. You can rig them drop shot in multiple different ways, but you can also Ned rig them. You can also Nico rig them, wacky rig them.
Yep.
They do sink on their own. So
Here, I'm thinking about this, right? Like, so there's an upcoming head-to-head event on Bagel, right? Like, this thing right here looks like it would be a killer walleye bait.
oh yeah, walleyes eat it.
On the reefs out there, even in the river, that time of year, I mean, so often we talk about the benefits of an artificial lure, right? Keeps you in action a lot longer, keeps you more efficient on the water. The hands don't get cold, the hands don't, you know, you don't have to worry about having crawlers get out on your boat, or the stink, or whatever it is. Like, this thing in this size, dude, this thing could crush not only some big walleyes like up on the bay when maybe you're targeting a smallmouth, but even around here on the Lake Winnebago system. This thing just looks like it catches walleyes.
And Lake Winnebago is a little dirtier system too, so that scent is a big deal.
Great point.
I would say if you're not using any kind of scent on your baits, you need to be.
Yep.
These come with it built in. You don't have to add the mess to your boat. You don't have to carry something else, get your hands all smelly with it. But these baits are deadly.
They are deadly. Hey, Aaron, do me a favor. Bring up those images one more time, because as we go through these images, remember, we're talking about the Gobi today, the green pumpkin, this is the Gobi on the screen right now. What I want you to Here's a green pumpkin. Now, as you're looking at these baits that are flashing across your screen, pay attention to that matte finish, right? Like a lot of people are like, well, maybe I want a little more shine. I want a little more attracting. Well, Berkley, again, because they're fishing nerds over there, they researched this and they found that that matte finish is a lot closer to natural bait.
Right.
So it's not so loud out there and everything like this. This matte finish is going to be more natural in the water, and it's going to help increase and hopefully get you a lot more hookups.
Right. Like you said, it's a little more natural. It's closer to the natural fish. If you look at a goby, right, Great Lakes goby, if you've ever seen a live goby, they're not shiny. They're really dull in color. They have a lot of different hues to them. That's why you see so many different flake in the baits. Depending on what time of year it is, them fish are not real shiny, glossy, like glossy paint. They're like almost a little iridescent where you can see through them a little bit.
Well, and think about this, like the deeper you're fishing, right, and the water stain and everything like we just talked about, like that's when you're going to get some of that shine, that fleck to really show through. But if the water's super clear, you want to go as natural as you can at times because those fish have seen a ton of baits, right? Why not trick them with something like this? And here's the deal, everybody. Like Kyle, we can talk about this again. Like this is one of the most sought after baits right now. We looked, and there's a number of popular other channels, shopping networks. They're out of this. They're out of a lot of these more popular colors.
And they're out of these colors.
They're out of these colors.
And they are not $5.49.
And they're not $1 off. No. So like, this is silly, right? Like, this is a home run for you at home or at work or wherever the heck you're tuning in. We appreciate it, but this is a home run for you. This is one that you're not going to want to pass up. Here's the deal.
Right now at $5.49, they're $2.50 cheaper
than anywhere else. And they don't even have them in stock.
And our normal retail is $6.49, so $1 off of that is
awesome.
Bananas.
Father's Day is coming up.
See these, that price, I'm gonna be going online and ordering some for myself.
Yeah, as soon as I let Kyle out of here, man, you better get on there because, like, here's the thing, right? A lot of these products we have a good amount in, but like it's not like a great amount where like if you hesitate for 2 seconds, those products could be gone. And if you're on thereelshot.com, I'm gonna help you out even more to get that, fire up that competition. This is like a bidding war, right? Like get it going. It's BPBMSF. That's what you hit into the search bar.
On the top left of your screen right now.
Yeah, and you can see it on the screen as well. So if I'm stuttering, if I'm like too jacked up on Mountain Dew right now, like you can't understand a single thing I'm saying, like it's all on your screen. They make it super simple. We brought up some great pictures of it. But Father's Day is here. It is summertime. You know, the big thing about it is pick a couple of these up. You won't be disappointed. And you're not going to want to buy a 1-pack. This is an 8-pack right here. Like if you're on a day like Kyle's been having on the bay right now, this will last you...
It'll last you a little while, but not long
enough.
Not
long enough, right? Like, I mean, the durability in the baits is going to help catch a lot more fish. But when you're having a 100-fish day, man, you're going to go through baits. Yep. And if you're as meticulous about your hooks and everything like that as you are, Kyle, like, you know, if one just doesn't sit right on there, you're going to re-rig and just throw another one on instead of messing with it.
I'll use that one for a different presentation, then I'll save it.
And, you know, with the ribs, think about this, too. Like, if it gets a little tough, right, you could trim down this bait a little bit, a 1/4 inch, a 1/2 inch.
They make another size of this bait. This is the 4 1/4. You can shorten it up. The section of the flatworm that you see on the 4 1/4, the tail section is the same as the 3 inch. So you can shorten that bait up and still get to that 3 inch size if that's what you want.
Well, and that's why it makes sense to buy you can't make the smaller one grow.
Exactly.
But you can make this one shrink a little bit, or you just fish it at that 4 1/4 size again. That's what's going to help, you know, produce a lot of bites. But we're talking about the Berkley Max Scent. This is an awesome bait right now, and it's on sale right now. It's $1 off. Normal retail here at the Real Shot is $6.49. You're going to get it at $5.49, and basically until that price until they're gone.
Until they're gone. Right.
Until they're gone, and that may take 5 seconds after the show ends, and it may take an hour, but it doesn't matter. Like this are not going to last long because one more time. Nobody has these in stock. And if they do, maybe they have one color. They don't have all 3 colors in stock like we do. And again, it's green pumpkin with watermelon. Yep. Great color right now. Goby, go-to.
Yep, it's a go-to.
Goby 2, get it? And then green pumpkin as well.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, once in a while.
While you're on TRS.com, don't forget the accessories that go with it. The terminal tackle that you need as well. We have drop shot weights, hooks, net heads, a bunch of different ones, different styles, different sizes. These are the Berkley half heads. So half head, jig head. So check them out while you're on there.
I did get a question though, and I think some of our fans that are watching this want to know, okay, you've talked about netting it, drop shotting it. What would you pair that, let's say you're drop shotting, what is your go-to rod reel setup for that?
Drop shotting, I'm gonna use a 7.3 medium to medium light spinning rod with a 3,000 size reel. Big spool. I like the big spool. I don't just vertically fish a drop shot, I cast it.
Okay.
So, which a lot of guys do. So you want that big spool to be able to cast at. A drop shot gets pretty bulky even when you're throwing an 1/8 ounce weight, but you want to be able to cast at the long rod, let you pick that slack up quicker when you do get a bite.
Okay.
And for me, it's all about that sensitivity, braided line with a leader. 6 to 8 pound leader. I don't ever go over 8 pound leader on a drop shot. I got a buddy that only uses 15 pound and he catches the fire out of him with a drop shot.
Really?
With 15 pound leaders.
On a leader
with a leader, yep.
So, a good fluorocarbon, is that what you recommend?
Yep. You definitely a fluorocarbon. You want that to be clear in the water, and you want as least amount of stretch as you can get.
Okay. And then what about like your Ned setup?
I used just the Ned locks, just your typical Ned Z-Man Ned locks. The lightest weight I can get away with.
Okay.
On that day, or the depths, wind, whatever it is.
So does that light weight that you're talking about, like when you're pairing it with these max scent, is that because you want a slow fall, even in like deeper than 15 feet? Okay.
It's finesse. If I'm fishing 25 feet of water and I'm throwing a 1/10 ounce weight, you just let it fall longer.
Just let it go.
You just have to be patient. The point of a Ned rig is finesse. You want that bait down there. You want it on the bottom. Sometimes you want it just hovering off the bottom, or just close to the bottom when you're fishing.
So you're going to let the fish tell you the story on that
Yep.
one.
And forward-facing sonars too, you can see this bait fall and you can let the fish tell you what to do with it. A lot of times they'll come up and eat it before it gets to the bottom.
So I want to continue on with the Ned rig here, is like when you're fishing this, especially with this max scent here, this 4 1/4 one, again, it's on sale right now. Is this the fish telling you the story? Is it a drag? Is it a hop? How are you typically fishing it back?
Typically, I start with letting it sit. Do nothing.
Nose up, or it'll
let
sit,
it fall.
tail up.
It will sit tail up and slow drags. There's some days where you want to hop it. Up here in northern Wisconsin, if you hop a bait too much, typically you're going to find every sheephead in the area is going to come and find that bait.
Yep.
I fish it super, super slow. I'll fish it rod tip down, depending on how deep I am, and drag it slowly. Rod tip up if there's no wind and you're fishing a little shallower, where you can actually move that bait a little bit without getting snagged and control that. If I'm fishing deep, I want to let it sit. I'll let it sit in one area for 4 or 5 minutes sometimes.
Nuh-uh.
If I know there's fish around, I'm going to let them come and find this and eat it.
I don't have patience to do that. I'm already getting nervous.
Some days you have to, right? Some days, especially in a tournament scenario, if you're in a team tournament, let one guy fish fast, one guy fish slow, and you have to have the patience to fish it that way.
See, and that's where a product like this would probably help me out, because I'll get away with like fishing a little faster and catch a little more fish because of the fact that this is doing the work.
Yep.
And I don't have to do hardly any of the work, right? I can just trust the max scent here to get down there and coax that fish to bite, even though that fish is like, why is this bait going 100 miles an hour? It's like maybe the smell and he's got my lateral line just fired right up.
I don't have to send you a text, Matt, slow down.
Yeah, dude, slow down. Oh man, that would have been an awesome thing to have with me at that trip.
And the flatworm is a year-round bait. There's a lot. If you
You're
follow,
saying ice fishing too?
I would fish this through the ice for sure for whitefish, for perch, anything, because you can shrink that thing down. There's with the tournaments that made it super popular and put it mainstream were summertime smallmouth tournaments.
Yep.
But man, water was 40 degrees in this spring when I caught the first fish on one of these. So you want to fish it year round. Don't just think it's a summertime drop shot thing.
Yeah, and especially at the prices that we're selling them. I mean, you can't go wrong. Yeah, again, $5.49. It's BP, BM, SF. We're making these like a paragraph here. I got to read all these words, but letters are tough sometimes.
Words are hard.
Words are hard. Yeah. But again, everybody, it's the Berkley Max Scent. This is the Flatworm, one of the most sought after, hard to find baits. Right now, especially, it's tournament time, it's open water time. We're finally getting some nicer weather here in Wisconsin where people are getting out, getting active on the water. This is one of these home run baits that you're not going to want to pass up. I mean, Again, it's on your screen. Go to thereelshot.com. Remember, Fixed TV. What the heck is Fixed TV? Well, it's a video on demand platform where you can watch head to head. You can watch The Guide to Life. You can watch the Jake Jacobs Show. And there's a ton of new shows that are coming forth on Fixed TV. But long story short, if you are a subscriber on there, check an email. You probably got an email recently of some kind of updates to your account that's going to help you also to save money while you're watching TRS Live. But everything you're looking at today is going to be available on thereelshot.com. Kyle, I'm going to keep moving forth. I got some more products I got to cover today, but any final thoughts on the Berkley Maxent?
549 is insane.
In the membrane.
For as hard as these baits have been to get the last 2 years,
See,
549, don't wait.
Dude, this pack, we opened it for demonstration. It's going in my quality
I'm
pouch.
keeping this one. It's coming right with me. So yeah, 549, realshot.com. Awesome savings. You know, keep in tune with TRS Live. We're gonna have all kinds of things like this coming down the pipe in the future here. So this one is not a fluke to have on here. We want to sell products and give it to our fans at a great price.
Yeah, so. It's not a fluke. It's actually a 4 1/4 Maxent.
It's actually a Flatworm.
Well, cool, everybody. Thanks so much, Kyle. Thanks for watching me. Hey,
thanks for having me.
But don't go anywhere. I got a bunch more products that I'm going to cover, and I'm going to have some staff coming up from the Real Shot. They're going to talk to you more about these things that I don't have a clue on. We're going to hit on some ammunition. We're going to hit on some more great products today. But coming forth next is an awesome product. And Aaron, if you want to slide that on up. Here it is. It's the Amish Outfitter box. This is meant for crankbaits. We're going to show you the benefits to this, so don't go anywhere. Like, subscribe, follow, share it, do whatever you got to do. The next bait on the next product on the docket is this Amish Outfitter box. So go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. Go ahead and pick up these Maxent Berkley baits. We're going to go ahead and go to a short commercial break, and then when we come back, we'll be right here with the Amish Outfitter box. It's Matt Trotz here with The Guided Life. We just met up with one of the guys from the crew, and he's like, they're on a hot track, so it's put her 4 high and get on these back roads and scream. Every year that I've been a part of that and I go to that class, I always learn something. So these guys are gonna join me, and the reason I asked these two guys in here is because we got Travis, who does a lot of public land hunting, and then Judd and I are private land, owners and hunters for the most part as well. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. We'll see you on the next one. All right, everybody, welcome back to TRS Live. If you're just joining us, what is TRS Live? Well, let me remind you real quick. It's savings. That's simply all I can do to tell you right now. It's a show, a live outdoor fishing, hunting, shopping show where we're going to bring you a bunch of great products at a bunch of great savings. And I just brought out my phone because I went on the Real Shot page and I shared it. I'm about to share it, actually. Get it out there. So if you haven't done it yet, go ahead and like our TRS Live page, subscribe. You're going to be able to watch this anywhere. Share it. Let everybody know that, hey, man, TRS Live is here and they got some great savings. So we just got done with the pleasure of Kyle Carpenter joining me, covering the Berkley Maxent. And now we're going to move through. Again, we talked about walleye season is here. Trolling is here. I'm seeing a ton of pictures on social media talking about, you know, going to Erie, catching big giant walleyes on big giant crankbaits. And now we're going to talk about the Amish Outfitters double-sided crankbait box. So I have a couple of samples here. The cool thing about this box is, first of all, it's on sale, right? So let's go, it's AOD SCB. Normal retail on this Amish Outfitter double-sided crankbait box is normal retail $10.99. Right now, you have a $2 savings at $8.99. Remember, Fixed TV members, subscribers over there, you got some additional savings that you can go ahead and utilize if you want some of the Amish Outfitters box. So a lot of the products we're going to be covering here on TRS Live are limited quantities. You know, it's one of those ones where you don't want to wait, you don't want to hesitate. So this Amish Outfitter box is a real good deal. And that's going to remind me, this is a TRS real deal. So I'm going to hit on this one for about 5 to 10 minutes and we're going to move on. So if you got to go to the ThereelShot website, AODSCB, and if you can't understand what I'm saying, it's simply on the screen right now. You can go ahead and check that out. But let's get right into this. The cool thing about it is it's a double-side box with some great quality latches. How often when you're picking out a tackle box, a crankbait box, whatever kind of tackle carrier, do the latches these producers, this is comical today. Do the latches are the weakest point, right? Like the box has got good all around areas to it, but the latch is one of the weakest points. Not in this Amish Outfitter box. Because it's made in the USA, it's made right in Ohio, that they put the time and effort into getting good quality latches. You can hear the snap. Boom. So you know that's latched up really good. Now, the cool thing about the Amish Outfitter box is there's a sample here. Let me latch it. You heard it. Is I got a number of different baits in here. We got jerk baits. We got some Smithwicks. We got some flicker minnows in the size 7. I got some husky jerks in here. And on the flip side of around, I mean, we got tons of different baits. Bandits, Rattling Roads, Smithwicks. I mean, this thing can carry a variety of different long-nosed or crankbaits, stick baits, whatever you want that you could put in there. And you could fit multiple ones. Say you have to streamline and you want to get 2 of each color in there, and it's like a size 7 flicker minnow right here. You know, you can almost rubber band these, and you could probably get 2 if you would go like bill to bill or a different way of doing this. But you can see like a 12, 11s, they're all fitting in here with plenty of room, and there's no mess, no fuss, everything like that. So this is the Amish Outfitter box. This is a really great box, made in the USA, made in Ohio. The cool thing about it is on the top we can fit 12 different baits total in this box. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so it's 14. I can't count today. Then they stackable. They look really great. Make tackle storage really easy is the goal from Amish Outfitter. I mean, they're known for big water and big fish producing stuff. So the other thing that's really neat about it here, if you can see this, and maybe we can bring up the image, Aaron, as I'm kind of talking about this, is we have some ports, some slots in here that run along the top. You can kind of see it around the latch there, the black latch that's up there. Those are ports, those are slits in here. That's gonna not only let any water that may potentially get in the box drain out really easy, but that's gonna allow for, you know, moisture to get out of there, airflow to get in there, help keep your baits dry, help keep the hooks protected. Just some quick tips. You can throw one of those, what do they call it, decadent patches or pouches in there to help absorb the moisture. But this is what the ports are in there for, to help keep your baits dry after you get done fishing them, you know, and to keep them for potentially rusting. So they put a lot of thought, a lot of effort into this, the Amish Outfitter box. And let's talk about, again, some of this pricing. $10.99 is your normal retail price here. You're going to get it today at $8.99. And we talked about it a bunch here with Kyle. Father's Day is coming up. We're in the heat of it, everybody. This is full-fledged fishing time. If you're a tournament angler, if you're a weekend warrior, right now is the time. And we're here to save you a bunch of money on all of these great products. So add a couple of these to your cart, and while you're over at thereelshot.com, I'm going to save you a step. AODSCB, you'll see it on your screen right now, is the product number where you can put it in the search box. It's going to take you right to this Amish Outfitters. This is a double-sided crankbait box This thing is great. So you can fit a variety of different baits, bandits. We talked about some of the different sizes of husky jerks. Big thing right now is, again, we're talking there's a head-to-head event coming on. I mean, there's probably going to be quite a few of the anglers here. I can get right into this thing and do my best to display. You know, look at the flicker minnows. Look at this bright colors here. These things look awesome. The bigger bill, deep divers, they all fit in here. And the box is actually tapered. So when you set this in there, you know, the water's going to drop down, and as it runs, it's going to run that water right out those ports that are in there, and this is going to help protect your investment. Some of these baits right here, like this is a Berkley stunner. I mean, this thing is phenomenal, but they're not cheap anymore. Why would you skimp on a great tackle box? I mean, look at this, some of these things. I mean, this is the color, the texture, everything like that is a great box, so why not protect your investment? The Amish Outfitters double-sided crankbait box is one that you're going to have to take advantage of. And here, we go flip it around. Here, I'm going to do my best. I'm probably going to spill these out. This is going to be a fun one. You know, let's look again here, a flicker minnow. Look at this thing, and it fits in there so nice and neat. I mean, this is one that's going to help you organize your tackle. It's going to keep you out there, keep you a lot more efficient. Now, as we go over some of my notes, this is a TRS real deal. That means I'm going to hit on this one for a little bit longer, and then we're going to move on to some other stuff. And I got some other great TRS staff coming forth. And this is the thing about it, right? You're tired of listening to me talk about it. Go ahead and purchase it. But if you do have any in-depth questions, you can always reach out to the staff at The Real Shot. They're available. I mean, anytime, send a message to the Facebook page. You can call the store, 920-750-6140, and be like, listen, I heard Trot's talking about it. He mumbled through a lot of stuff. Now I want the real nuts and bolts on it. I purchased it. I love the savings. Trot saved me some money, but I want some more detail on it. Call the store. Ask The Real Shot. Tyson, Nick, all the staff. Mike. I wanted Mike Williams to get up here and talk about this thing because that dude is a walleye fishing, you know, man. But here we go. We got the Amish Outfitter box. This thing is phenomenal. Go ahead and take advantage of the savings. $2 off. They want me to give you an organization 1 to 10. All right, so I am not an organized individual. You can see that right now. I barely got dressed this morning. If I had to rate this thing 1 to 10 on organizing, man, I'm going 9. 9.5, easily 9.5. And I'm not just saying that because I want to sell it to you. I'm saying it because they really absolutely thought about everything that an angler wants to think about when you're buying a good quality tackle box, especially when they're allowing me to save you some money. So again, take advantage of the savings. Let's talk about where you're going to find it. Realshot.com. You're going to type in AOD SCB. That's going to take you right to the Amish Outfitters. This is the double-sided crankbait box that you see on your screen. And I'm getting word that we got more products coming at you, so don't go anywhere. But while you're over here, like and subscribe, share, do everything like that. Our goal is to do this show 3 days a week. We're gonna start at an hour a day, and then we're gonna go more and more and more. This might be a 24/7 show eventually, but we gotta start soft. And what we're doing is we're blowing out some of these awesome products. We talk about the Berkley Max Scent, the Flatworm. That's one that's ridiculous. I can't even believe they allowed me to tell you that I'm giving you $1 off. And then this one here, the Amish Outfitters Crankbait Box. Right now is the time. Walleye fishing, Erie, you're going all these places. This is the box you need. And at $2 off, $10.99 normal retail, you're going to get it for $8.99 right here. Again, it's AOD SCB. You'll see it on your screen right now. This is one of those great products. So like, subscribe, share, do whatever you got to do. Check out the Fix TV platform for some additional savings. When you subscribe over there, that's where you're going to be able to watch the next upcoming head-to-head event. But we got more products coming forth, and I'm really excited to talk about this next one. I mean, in the day and age that we're living in right now, we got to be cautious and we got to be the utmost conservationist we can. So we're going to be talking here about BioAmmo. And I'm not the one who's going to give you all the nuts and bolts and the details on it. We're going to bring Steve in from the firearms department, and Steve is going to tell you all about the BioAmmo 12 gauge shotgun shells. All I know is these things are biodegradable. These things are awesome. I'm going to give you a little segue. You're seeing it right now. But again, we're going to go to a brief commercial break, and when we come back, Steve's going to be joining us to talk about BioAmmo. It's Matt Trotz here with The Guided Life. We just met up with one of the guys from the crew, and he's like, they're on a hot track, so it's 404 high, and get on these back roads and scream. Every year that I've been a part of that and I go to that class, I always learn something. So these guys are gonna join me, and the reason I asked these two guys in here is because we got Travis, who does a lot of public land hunting, and then Judd and I are private land, owners and hunters for the most part as well. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. We'll see you on the next one. Welcome back, everybody, to TRS Live. I am your host, Matt Trotz, and we've talked about two great products already so far. We've talked about the Berkley Max Scent. That's the Flatworm, that 4¼ inch size, and Gobi green pumpkin watermelon with their red flake. And we talked about the Amish Outfitters double-sided crankbait box. And now we brought in Steve, Firearms Department Manager, here to talk about BioAmmo. Now, this is a 12-gauge shotgun shell.
Yes, it is.
That has a lot of cool features to it. But first of all, do you know where this stuff is made?
It's made in Spain.
It is made in
In
Spain.
Spain, yeah. Spain, like, in Europe, Spain.
Europe, Spain.
Yeah.
So now I have a trivia question for you. So when they started the company of BioAmmo, and I got to make sure I share this, do you know that they spent 13 million euros? And
That's like $40.
I was gonna ask Aaron.
Yeah, I'm not sure the current exchange
Yeah,
rate.
Aaron, what's the currency exchange
yeah.
on that? I was like, but dude, they spent 13.
They spent a lot of money. Yeah, they've got. I don't know how the international patents work, but they've got like a 5-star gold-plated patent on this process, because that looks like plastic to the layman's eye. I'm gonna say that is plastic, but it's not petroleum based.
Plastic.
It's not petroleum based. It is made out of vegetable material.
Yeah, so the cool thing about it, so BioAmmo, the reason we brought up how much they spent on their factory is they knew that there had to be a better way to go about shotgun shells, right? Yeah. They knew that.
Well, they suspected.
They suspected, right? The 13 million euros say we had a really good idea. But the thing about it is, as conservationists, this is a big thing of what we have to do, right? You're shooting at pheasants, you're shooting at mourning doves, clay pigeons, whatever you got to do, pick up your shot shells. Yeah. But 13,900,000 and some crazy number, but that's dollars. So it's not that far off. It's not that far off. So it's basically $13 million on this factory.
More than I got.
Yeah. More than we have. But the thing about it, as your conservationist, right? Like, it's something that we may forget about, but it's pick up your shot shells.
Right.
It's as simple as that. But what BioAmmo realized is, you're
not always going to get them all.
You're not always going to get them all. I mean, so they made this thing, and I don't know how the heck they made it. $13 million tells you how they made it. Biodegradable.
Witchcraft, yeah.
Witchcraft.
Here's the big thing. It's not just the shot shells, not just the hull itself, but the wad.
The wad inside.
That shot cup and wad, because that's going down range with the shot.
Yep.
You're not going to go out and hunt those down and find them. We've all been out there in the duck marsh, on a lake someplace, and you see those.
Yes.
Those wads
floating
around in the water, and they're going to float there forever. Yeah, with this stuff, it will eventually biodegrade into organic compounds, not microplastics, like we all have in our daily diet these days. Is microplastics everywhere.
So you're saying we should start eating
literally
more BioAmmo.
Well, we should start eating more BioAmmo. The other thing is on sporting clays and trap ranges, where they have tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of rounds fired a year. And again, you can ask people to pick up their hulls, that's fine, that's not that big a deal because you're standing right there. Lawns are all nicely kept, real easy to find, but the wad itself, downrange.
Yep.
I know some places have spent a lot of time, put a lot of money and effort into trying to police up all of those wads downrange on their courses. And this is going to help to eliminate some of that.
So, and okay, so with the fact that you're thinking it's biodegradable, it's, there's a lot of benefits, it's biocompostable as well. So, I mean, it's like there's so many things. And I was on their website, I kind of made some cheat sheets here, but like you would think with all that, like, is there performance with it?
Oh,
Well,
absolutely.
That's why they spent the money on their facilities. So not only can they make the casings and the wads biodegradable, but they're going to spend time right here and on the primers to make sure that you're still getting a high performance shotgun shell.
You bet.
With the benefits of it
With
biodegrading.
the 1 and the 1 1/8 ounce loads, they are calling it a 1,312 foot per second load. So it's a good high performance load. This is not low recoil. This is not half measure stuff. Now, people ask me, well, what do they use for the shot? They are still using lead. It is a lead shot material, but lead's a natural material. Lead exists almost in its natural state in the ground, I should say, but its final state.
Correct.
So the lead is going to be there, but plastic, as we know it, petroleum-based plastic, is not a factor anymore.
Yeah, so if you're doing a little research and you're interested in the BioAmmo stuff, first of all, I'm going to talk to you about the savings we got right now. So normally we're buying a box, Steve. We're going to get a box with, how many are in here?
There's 25
25 shot shells for $15.99.
Yep.
And that's a pretty fair price at $15.99.
Yep.
And we're going to take $2 off here while you're shopping around at thereelshot.com.
You're going to take $2 off?
Yeah, $13.99. $13.99, so it's BO12GA7. So that's what you're going to find, and that's basically, it's a 12 gauge and it's a 7 shot, right?
It's a 7 shot.
Seven
7 shot is actually, it's more of a European standard. You can sometimes find it in the U.S., but people are familiar with, I don't know why, they go 4, down a little bit to 6, down a little bit to 7.5, down a little bit to 8. I don't know why in the U.S. we skipped over 7. 7 shot is exactly 1/10 of an inch in diameter. It's 0.10. The 6 shot is 0.11. 7.5 shot is 0.095.
That's incredible.
So,
you're not even looking at my cheat sheet and you remember all that stuff.
Yeah, but I don't remember who you are. It balances out, yeah.
But I mean, so that's, okay, let's talk about the shot, right? The shot size. We're referencing the 12 gauge and the 7 shot today. For a hunter, is that like the perfect size for pheasant, grouse?
It's a little small for pheasant, generally speaking. I think it'd be an awesome grouse round. For a small game hunt, people like to hunt small game with shotguns. For squirrels, for rabbits. Certainly a fine dove load.
Okay.
Yeah, pheasant in heavy cover, close cover, which is not something you're normally going to encounter with pheasant.
But what about like a grouse? I mean, you're talking.
I think it'd be an awesome grouse round. Yeah.
And Mark probably has used some of this stuff when he's gone grouse hunting.
I would
before.
imagine so. If he hasn't, he's going to.
He's going to. And so, like, okay, so we look at my cheat sheet here, right? Like, we got a bunch of different sizes here, but what is it? Like, there's a 4, the 5. What do we got? Like a 4E, a 5E? Do you know what?
I have no idea what that means.
That's all the information. Again, we're just taking this off from the BioAmmo website, but we're talking about the BioAmmo. This is the 12 gauge and the 7 shot. And normally it's $15.99. We're going to give it to you today for $13.99. And you got an ample supply of this stuff, right?
We got a lot of this stuff in stock, and we do have other sizes as well. We've got 6. Excuse me. We're out of 6 right now. But
well, you missed out.
We've got some 4 shot in stock, but most of what we've got is 7, 8s, and 9s. We've got 1 ounce, 1 1/8 ounce. We've got what they call a special pigeon load, and apparently in Europe, as my understanding is, they have competitive shooting live pigeons, and so they've got a 1 1/4 ounce load of 8 shot, which I'm guessing it makes sense to them. But I've got that in stock as well. Again, somebody wants to shoot with a relatively open choke and heavy cover at fast moving birds, that 1 1/4 ounce load is going to put a lot of pellets in the pattern.
So, and that's right. I like where you're going with this because, again, we talked about the money they spent on the facility. That means they did a lot of research and development. Now, the speed factor. We're looking at, like you said, 312 feet per second.
1312.
I'm sorry, 1312 with some of these loads. Like that's just an all-around good speed. Is that more of a bird style speed, or would you some clay pigeon rounds?
It's going to hit harder. You know, I don't recall. I should talk about recollection now. 1250 is generally considered to be a high-speed load for target loads.
Yep.
You get lower than that, you start getting into lighter recoil. Loads that are going to be for people who are more recoil sensitive. But if I'm not mistaken, a high-speed load was generally considered a 3-dram load is going to be around 1,250 to 1,290 feet per second. So this is stepping out there really good.
This is a high-speed load, and that's one thing you could take into consideration if you are going to use it for sporting clays, tournament-wise. Like maybe this is too fast for your range. Check with the regulations and so on and so forth.
Good point.
Because a lot of, like you said, to keep competition fair, everybody's got to shoot about the same feet per second, so on and so forth. This might be a little too hot for that.
So you can just lie about it too.
Oh, I'm getting it. So what was it? You're saying the highest factory load was 1,700 feet per second? Holy man. That's cooking.
Right. Yeah.
That's cooking. So we're not quite there with the BioAmmo, but we're getting darn close.
No, but again, most target loads, and it's being marketed as primarily a target load, most target loads are going to be in that 1,250, 1,290, maybe 1,300 feet per second. I don't recall any of the mainstream 1 ounce or heavier target loads going above 1,300. So this is just a touch over.
Yeah, and so and remember, if you have any questions, if you want more information on BioAmmo, you can come see Steve. You can stop in and call him on the phone, 920-750-6140. He'll be happy to answer not only BioAmmo questions, but all firearms questions. But like the thing about it is this company started in 2008. And we started carrying their products, what was it, last year, 2 years ago?
Yeah, just last year.
And the thing that was really cool was when other companies were having shortages, BioAmmo had a good supply, and you got it in at the right time.
Well, they have a sole U.S. importation deal with Ammo Inc., which is, they're based out of Scottsdale, Arizona, but we're here in Appleton, Wisconsin. We're just an hour and a half away over in Manitowoc. They're building a big new plant. And all of this stuff was shipped into us right out of Manitowoc, which is great. It's supporting a local company like that. Sure, it's made in Spain, but it's being imported exclusively into this country through Ammo Inc.
Yep, and this is one of those products, again, a lot of the things we're talking about are like the hot buys, the things you got to get. Like when you can't find this, the BioAmmo is going to be a great supplement for things that if you can't find your whatever ammo that your favorite is, give the BioAmmo a try. Now, as we talk about the shot shells, like one thing is people like to reload this. The BioAmmo stuff is not reloadable.
No.
And that's because it is biodegradable. That's what separates BioAmmo, that's right in the name, from any other company out there, is the fact that this stuff is biodegradable and biocompostable. So like you can, if you unfortunately you drop it, we're still encouraging you to pick it up.
Yep.
Pick it up, but if you on the chance that you drop it, you forget a shot shell out there in the field, like it's gonna break down over time.
That's right.
And the thing about it is, if you go to their information, you say no production plastic. That's a big thing right now. I mean, let's not put more harmful chemicals and stuff into the ground, into the landfills that we don't need to.
The tons of plastic that are disposed of improperly on this planet daily it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible.
Well, and that's
tons and tons of it just ending up in the environment, ending up in landfills, which eventually break down into microplastics that get into the water system, into the food chain. This may not be the absolute total end-all, be-all of answers to the plastic problem we've got on this planet, but it's a hell of a good step.
It's a great start. It's a start in the right direction. Yeah. And I mean, that just makes you wonder, like, where are they going to go with this stuff as we go through the line? I mean, $13 million of warehouse and a research and development department, that you think they're going to be able to broaden their horizons.
My guess is, I haven't heard anything, but I would think that they are if they haven't already, they will be very, very shortly looking at other applications for this.
Yeah, and I like the fact that, Steve, you brought up some of the no plastic in the landfills, no and improper recycling. I mean, think about that. Like, how much of that stuff? I mean, you don't have to worry about that. We still, again, encourage you, pick up your spent shells, bring them on home, but then you can recycle them. You can take care of them that way, right? This is not a product that you want to throw in the garbage. This is a product you want to recycle, right?
Yep.
So take advantage of that. $2 off, $15.99 normal retail on a box of 25. And again, this is the 12 gauge and the 7-shot. This is a perfect shot for small game hunters. I'm a big rabbit hunter, man. I think this thing would do a great job. Now think about this, Steve. We're gonna go out on a limb here. That's where my mind works.
All right.
Now, Scott Piper, who was just, or Peeper, was just in here doing a little bit of filming, was telling me a story about some shot shell that was supposed to be flavored. Could you imagine if they took BioAmmo, the biodegradable, and filled it in with something that was like, it was edible? This is the look. This was Steve's like, can I get out of here? Wow. Ask Scott to tell you that story. He was telling me we went turkey hunting the other morning. I'm like, dude, are you smoking a BioAmmo here? I don't understand what's going on. We're not going to talk about other. Yeah. No. Aaron's like, can we load them up with Tic Tacs? Is that a way? But here it is, everybody. It's BioAmmo. It's BO12GA7 on thereelshot.com. Remember, fixed TV subscribers are going to get some additional savings. So what else is going on in the fire departments right now?
We're seeing more ammunition coming in, other types, rimfire, handgun, rifle, shotgun ammo. We've got, we're kind of wrapping up the turkey season here in Wisconsin, and unlike last year, we didn't run out of turkey ammo. There was a shortage of 20 gauge turkey ammo. There's still some shortages in place. I know heart goes out to people that are coming in there almost every day looking for 410 ammo and 357 Magnum. I don't know why those two, but something had to be the last thing to become readily available again. It looks like those are a couple of them. But otherwise, 308, 6.5 Creedmoor, 270, 30-06, 300 mag, 300 blackout, 762 by 39, 223, 556. I got all that stuff. 243. I've got all that in stock.
You have that.
I've got that all in stock. I don't have a really, really wide, deep selection. Mostly what I have been able to find available is premium quality ammunition. Now that's bad news, good news thing. Bad news is it's a little bit more expensive than the normal mundane, I don't want to say junk ammo, but the run-of-the-mill stuff that you might want to pick up. The good news is it's great ammunition. And this will, tweak your opportunities, tweak your chances of scoring on a big game animal, and also give you the chance to get out and shoot. Maybe you haven't had a chance to do in the last couple of years.
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of people that were keeping one, every bullet they had, they were only using it for hunting wise, sighting in with one or two to make sure they're close and then going out hunting.
And, I got to say, another good example is I'm seeing right now one of the hardest things to get past is all of the 9mm ammunition that's available. It's just all of a sudden there's a surplus of it out there. Okay, we have had in my career in this business, we've had 3 or 4 really, really substantial shortages. Okay, shortages will happen again. Don't be caught being that guy who comes in here once the shortage has started looking for ammunition you can't get. Whether you do it here or elsewhere, don't want to send business to my competition, but I'm just giving you a little bit of advice. Stock up on some ammunition.
Start now.
Start now. When you find it readily available, I've just had a couple of small price reductions, not huge, but a couple of small price reductions. Get out there and pick up a spare box. You go into the range, you're going to buy a box of ammo. Hey, guess what? Buy 2, put one aside, store it properly, and it will last forever. It really does last a long, 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 long time properly stored. Then the next shortage comes around and you can kick back and relax and sip on a cup of coffee and let everybody else go out. Panic buying ammunition. You've already got some put aside.
And a lot of the stuff Steve's referring to is in store at now, but we're working our tails off to get a lot of that product added to the website. But the thing about it is the supply chain is so small. By the time
it has not been available. I think we do have some 9mm on the website now.
BioAmmo, obviously, this is available.
BioAmmo is available. We've got the Migra listed. We're out of stock on the Migra right now, but the Migra Stat Steel We sold through a boatload of that last year, both online and in the store. We're going to have more SKUs on that, better selection coming in this year. And fingers crossed, I've got about 4 times as much ordered this year as we had last year.
Wow.
So we're going to have I think we'll have some pretty good deals online and in the store on the stacked steel from Migra.
Cool. Well, I mean, we got Steve in here right now. We're talking about the BioAmmo. This is a 12 gauge. This is a 7-shot. A great ammunition, biodegradable. This is one thing that you're going to want to take advantage of. Again, if you're on your screen right now, you'll see BO12GA7. That is the code you're going to punch into thereelshot.com. It's going to take you right to that product. Normal retail price is $15.99 per box of 25. We're going to save you $2 right now, $13.99. Again, if you want more information, if you want more insight, call Steve at the store, 920-750-6140. Shop online. Take advantage of the product while you can. Like you heard from Steve, we have inventories of certain things right now. Doesn't mean they're going to be there in a couple of days. So you got to take advantage of the buy cycles that we have right now. Any information you need, the Real Shot website, the Real Shot social media pages, or just simply pick up the phone and call 920-750-6140. Steve, thanks so much for joining me. I look forward to getting you up here a lot more to talk about all kinds of things, firearms, ammunition, and all kinds of awesome stuff. So, all right, everybody, that's BioAmmo. Pick it up at thereelshot.com. Take advantage of those $2 off. I got one more product that I'm going to be bringing at you, and that is a Rapala jig box in the small size, and it's the black size that you're seeing on your screen right now. And that means that Tyson Hansen from the Real Shot, again, we're going to utilize the knowledge of the Real Shot staff to help us talk about these great products. So if you're on there right now, like, share, subscribe, follow, do all those things to all the Real Shot pages, TRS Live. But we'll be right back with Tyson Hansen to talk about the Rapala jig box in the small size in the black color. It's Matt Trotz here with The Guided Life. We just met up with one of the guys from the crew, and he's like, they're on a hot track, so it's put her 4 high and get on these back roads and scream. Every year that I've been a part of that and I go to that class, I always learn something. So these guys are gonna join me, and the reason I asked these 2 guys in here is because we got Travis, who does a lot of public land hunting, and then Judd and I are private land, owners and hunters for the most part as well. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. We'll see you on the next one. Welcome back, everybody, to TRS Live. If you're just joining us, thank you so much for watching and following along at TRS Live. Let me just kind of recap what this show is all about. Simply put, it's saving you all kinds of money. We've talked about 3 great products that the Real Shot carries and sells, and we're talking about them online at thereelshot.com. Now, we're going to move on to another great product, but while you're over there, like, subscribe, share, follow along at TRS Live because we plan on doing a lot more of these shows and saving you a lot more money. Now, coming up here today, joining me again, is Tyson Hansen. Tyson, thanks for joining me, buddy.
Oh,
How are you
absolutely.
today?
I'm doing well, doing well.
You having a good start to the day?
Yeah, it's a beautiful day outside.
Oh, I can't wait to go enjoy what's going on outside right now. Sunshine and everything.
Sunshine, low wind today.
Oh, we haven't had that in days.
Yeah, probably weeks.
weeks. So one of the things we're talking about with Tyson is this Rapala jig box. Now, first of all, is it Rapala? Is it Rapala?
I like Rapala. See, I had to think about it there for a second. Man, you've been saying it the wrong way.
I've heard so many people, and I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it's Rapala, but I'll tell you, Mr. Rapala. All right, I'm gonna get into some history here. You all ready? I gotta try to read my notes.
Mr. Rapala?
Yeah, Rapala. Wait, was it Rapala? Now I'm all confused. He said that he noticed that fish, right? This is we're talking the creation of Rapala.
Okay.
He noticed, and this you think this might be like the obvious, but think about when you're going way back to the creation of Rapala, right? He noticed that the fish in his research were always going after the one that had a little wobble, a little bit of different erratic motion to it. That's
Absolutely.
the one, and we're not talking a bait, we're talking like a minnow or a bluegill
sure.
or something. That was the one that got hit the most. So what he did, he's like, man, I should really capitalize this. And he made a bait that replicated that motion. And that's where it led to Rapala and all the great things that Rapala is right now.
What bait was that?
That's got to be original floater.
I would
guess.
So.
That would be my guess,
The
right?
one that says original in it?
Yeah, the original floater. And you know what, man? I bet you that original floater would probably fit in that Amish outfitter box that we were just got done talking about.
Oh,
Oh my
absolutely.
God! So you can
Absolutely.
save money, all kinds, and you're learning a little bit today. But let's get jiggy with it here and talk about this Rapala box. So I have one of these,
Okay.
but I want to hear the Tyson Hansen opinion on this box right here.
Okay, so they do make, I believe, 3 sizes of this. The smallest one of these is definitely the most mobile and user-friendly, simply because you can put it anywhere.
Yep.
You know, you can put this in, throw it in a pocket on the go. All the compartments in here and slots, it holds way more than you would ever imagine inside of this thing.
I'm going to stop you right there. Now, I had some time today before we started this live show, and I was able to take off my shoes, and I borrowed some other friends' shoes. Do you know how many slots and their availability of storage are in this box right here? Like how many products?
144 or something like that?
Keep going.
Really?
It's higher than that. Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Nope, that
So,
I do not know.
I'm going to bring you some information right now. Each side of the doors, and maybe we can do we have an image? Is it the image of the box? Okay, so just the box. Okay, so you're looking at, this is the box right here that we're talking about. Now this is the Rapala jig box. It's the black one in the small size. Normal retail price $12.99. $10.99 is we're gonna get it. The product code is RAJIBXS. So that's Rapala jig box. Now come back to here. Now let's talk about this here. Storage wise. Here we go. He's telling me the correct pronunciations. You're throwing me off. 43 slots on each door.
On each door.
On each door. So there's 2 doors, right?
Yep.
Two-sided. Now there's 43.
168 then, right?
So, but then you got to count this. All the availability right here.
Okay.
There's
so
75 of these in this compressed foam. There's 75 more slots. So if my math is correct, that's 236 total availability areas for baits.
Wow.
Woo!
That's impressive.
I'm taking the rest of the day off. That's a lot of math for this guy. And it took me a long time to count all that. About a day and a half. I actually started last night.
You couldn't have just counted this side and then this side and just doubled it?
Oh, see where we were last night. No, but anyways, there's a lot of storage in this thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I know the primary design of this was built for ice fishing.
Yep.
And holding small ice jigs. Now, there's many different applications that I can think of to fit in there. White bass flies, walleye flies.
Ooh, nice.
Fantastic option for those guys that might not have a giant assortment of those, and they want some nice little neat waterproof box to keep them in. Because that's one of the key features of this thing is the waterproofing capabilities that it has, where anything you put in here, you don't have to worry about the hooks rusting out.
Yep.
When you go and store it, Doesn't matter if you're around water. I mean, you get splashed on, that slush hits you when you're on a snowmobile or behind a four-wheeler or something like that. It's snowing outside. You're gonna hit this thing all at once. It's just gonna run right off. It's not gonna penetrate into the box and get everything inside of there wet and rusty.
Yep. And then now, can you do me a favor? Like, kind of hold it close to where your microphone is and snap that lid.
Oh yeah.
So people can hear it. You can hear it.
Yeah, first of all, that's just unsnapping it, right? That's pretty good.
He's sweating because there's so much work. Yeah, it's so tight.
There we
Yeah,
go.
that- See, the thing about that is that click lets you know that it's sealed, and it's sealing tight, like you said, to keep the moisture and everything out of there. And it could be your friend too. Keep your friend out of there if you can't open it up.
Yeah, no. Your kids.
Yeah. Oh,
They're
so many purposes.
Younger kids just don't have the power to open it on you. You're not going to dump all your jigs all over
You're
the
right.
floor.
Well, they're not going to be able to because it fits so nicely.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that waterproof liner, I don't know if you guys can see, that red seal all the way around on this side is a rubber gasket that goes all the way around, and that's what is being compressed when you close this and snap it. So you're gonna get a lot of life out of that. I know some people's concerns would be like, how long is that gonna last? How long is it gonna stay waterproof? The amount of compression that it takes to actually close this thing is quite a bit. So you're not gonna ever have to worry about that gasket kind of wearing out on you or anything like that. The other thing is the foam inside as well is kind of that same high density material. It's not rubber, but it is like a high density EVA style foam that you can press your jigs into. And again, is that going to wear out over time? Not really. That compression comes back. It's kind of that elasticity that material has. So even taking jigs in and out of here, it's going to hold your jigs for the life of the box.
And with over 200 products that you can put in there, I like the fact that you hit on this for that mobile angler. That angler, either you're open water or you're ice fishing, you don't want to take a lot of bulk with you.
Absolutely.
But you can put a lot of assortment of different baits. Say you know there's a hidden lake in the middle of a woods that's potentially loaded with all kinds of great things. You can fit so many different baits in this, that it's going to allow you to be super mobile but still be lightweight and have a variety of different tackle with you.
Absolutely. So that being said, you can throw not just jigs in here, but individual hooks for different applications, individual flies. The fly fishing anglers would love this box.
Yep.
If you're in waders and you're hip boots or something, you're walking down a stream and you're constantly in and around the water, this is something that's going to keep all of your flies nice and neat without getting wet. You're going to be able to see everything when you open this all up. They're all going to be nice and organized and spread out. It just super, super convenient. And again, just to protect your investment there. I mean, talk about how much money you can fit in this box for ice fishing jigs by itself.
Yeah. And you can save some money when you purchase it. I mean, you're gonna normal retail at $12.99. Right now it's $10.99. But the thing that you hit on that I noticed with mine. So on mine, I have a variety. I have like some Z Vibers, which may be coming at you here in a couple of days. We might have some Z Viber sales. But I have Z Viber. I have a couple of smaller spoons in mine.
Absolutely.
And the thing that's cool about like the Z Vibers is they come with a single hook and they come with a treble hook. So in this same box, you could have a wide variety of Z Vibers, and you can leave, let's say, the single hook on there and put the treble hook right next to it.
Absolutely.
So if something's happening and you break the single, or you know that you need the treble hook, you have it right here next to it. And the same thing with spoons, Are you snapping it? Yeah. You snap. He's so good at it. He's like a genie.
Yeah, just kind of remind myself. Yeah, I got to remind myself that I got to push it close.
It is. It really is. Like I was struggling earlier. I'm like, I thought this thing was getting caught in there. I'm like,
right.
You shouldn't take it. No, it's
that's what I was looking at.
It seals so tightly. But mobility is a big thing, and it's not only just for the ice fishermen.
Correct.
You can use it open water. I like the fact that you hit on the fly portion. I mean, this box is definitely designed for that. Look at that. You liking it? You loving it?
I do. I think basically every shore angler in open water, if you're a pan fisherman, the amount of crappie jigs, the amount of bluegill, like small hooks you can fit in here, little poppers and stuff like that, any panfish size a hard bait or terminal tackle is going to fit right into this box. Now, the other thing I will touch on, there is space when you close this.
Yep.
And I don't know how well we can see that on camera. It is a little bit thicker with the double side there.
Here, I'll hold it in front of my bright shirt. That
There,
way they
there
can
you
really
go.
see it.
So when you open this, there is a gap between the foam and then the other bait holders on the lid, actually. So I've seen guys put like jigging wraps and stuff there.
Yep.
Larger hard body baits, like you mentioned the Z-Vibers. There's plenty of space for that to fit in there without actually squishing the bait or compressing that foam that's inside of there and compromising the box.
So if you're wondering, the dimensions of the box are 4 3/4 by 4 by 2 inches. So it's 2 this way. So like you were saying, there's a lot of storage. And the thing that I like about it is when you open it, you don't have to worry about tackle dumping.
Absolutely.
I mean, the way the hook grippers are on the doors, the way this high compressed foam is, like Tyson was saying, this is going to hold your tackle in place. How frustrating is it with some of those other boxes on the market when you open it and your tackle goes flying everywhere? And if there's any kind of snow, if you're fishing onshore or something like that, you might lose a high-priced item.
Absolutely.
And never find it again. This thing, I know that when I open it, my baits are going to be right where I left them, as long as I put them away in a good fashion. And they're not going to wiggle around. They're not going to jiggle around. And I know that I easily can get at any bait that I want.
Absolutely. Now you touched on the aspect of how much money you could lose by dumping this thing out. With today's market and the custom painted baits and stuff like that, the ability to organize all that is incredible in here. With this amount of slots, I've seen guys as fine detailed as organizing by color and by size.
I try to do that.
And so they'll have all their 3mm, their 4mm, their 5mm in here, and then organize each side individually by color. It's a little above what I do personally.
That's why I said I try to do that. It doesn't last.
Absolutely, but again, like you touched on that, these things will hold your baits in there so tightly that, again, you open this thing, you know, upside down or something like that on accident, which with these heavy snaps is going to be almost impossible to do, but maybe you drop it or something like that, taking it out, and it catches one of these latches, and maybe it pops open or something like that. Unlikely, but could. All of your tackle is going to stay nice and neat and organized in there and not get wiggled around. And the other thing about that foam is, again, touching on those high dollar paint jobs and stuff like that. Now, you're not going to shake this around and beat up those paint jobs on your baits. So,
I wonder if we should do a test. We should take this thing down to the minnow tank. Do you think this thing would float?
absolutely.
It's sealed
Without
so
a doubt.
tight that it would float even if you get a bunch of tackle in it?
Absolutely. I think you could load this up, the entire thing, with 5mm tungsten, which is they're heavy little jigs. You can fit, would you say
36.
236 of them in here. This thing would probably weigh 4 or 5 pounds by itself when you do that. But I think with how much airspace is in here and the foam being in there, I believe this would float.
It's gonna, if anything, it's gonna float for enough time for you to grab it. Right, if it were to drop over, it's not going to go plummeting right down to the bottom.
Correct.
Now, okay, I have a couple different varieties of tackle boxes. I have this one, and you said this thing comes in 3 different sizes. Today we're talking about the small box, and normally retails for $12.99. Today you're going to get it for $10.99. RAJIBXS. But the thing about it is I've dropped mine in water. I've dropped mine in snow, I've dropped mine in, and I don't have to worry about water getting in the inside of it. I'm lazy at times. Some things I lay outside when all of a sudden a freak rainstorm comes that I saw on the radar, for 24 hours, and I forget about my baits. I can go out there and I know that this stuff is sealed up tight.
Absolutely.
That it's not going to start rusting just like other tackle boxes. I mean, that's so frustrating. The amount of money you spend and then you go out there and it's rusted because you were lazy. You can be a little bit lazy with this thing.
Absolutely, yeah. This is something that you can, especially for the ice angler, if you want to throw this in a 5-gallon bucket with all of your other tackle and stuff like that, you know that this one box is going to keep all of your stuff protected versus, say, just your standard clear, other run-of-the-mill boxes on the market.
Yep.
This is going to protect your investment in a lot of your high-dollar jigs and those little bit larger hard baits that you can fit in here. Having multiples of these is definitely something that I would look into doing instead of carrying a larger single box that's hard to fit in a pocket somewhere.
Yep.
I mean, I know personally, I don't like putting anything in my, you know, the hoodie pocket or something
call it
like
the
that.
koala pouch.
The koala pouch.
Yeah, I don't look. It's in this pocket. You aren't supposed to see that,
Right? I know one of them's going to be out of here, right? But I don't like putting anything in here because that's where I want to put my hands in the wintertime.
Yep.
You know, that's where I want to keep myself nice and warm. But just like on some of those ice fishing jackets and stuff like that, and those bibs, this thing is going to fit perfectly into all those pockets that you might not be able to get the medium-sized box or the large-sized box in. So that's where the versatility of this smaller package will fit directly in any of your normal pockets.
Yeah, and at 2 inches wide only, like it's still going to be somewhat compressed close to the body. So if you are a shoreline angler and you don't want it in the way of your casting and say, but you don't want to set it in the ground because you might forget it, it's still going to fit close enough to your chest with all the baits in it. Or cargo. I heard cargo pants are coming back in style,
yeah.
man.
Cargo pants, cargo shorts.
Yeah, oh my God.
The big side pocket.
Yeah,
absolutely.
put it right down in there. Just make sure you wear a belt because if you got 4 or 5 pounds of baits in here, dude, you better have a good belt. But this thing is awesome. Again, it's the Rapala. It's the jig box. It's the black style here that's fancy looking too. And there's enough areas on here.
Sharp.
Yeah, Aaron, bring up that big image again, Aaron, as we look at this. You can look at, there's enough areas on this box, as you see it on your screen right now, to initial it, to put your information
Put your
on
name,
it.
phone number on there, because again, you can load up. Let's just do some more quick math. Say you got an average of 200 jigs in there. It's almost full. It's almost full. Well, say those are, man, see, I'm gonna mess this up.
Yeah, here
Say
we go.
those
It's Tyson Hansen here.
Say those are $5 a piece. You got all custom painted, high-end jigs. What's the math on that? What's $1 million.
What's that Will Ferrell movie where he start getting nervous when they think about math?
That's $1,000 in that jig box. 200 jigs at $5 a piece. I believe that's right. $1,000.
It's $11.80 according to mathematician if it's full at 236 at $5.
236 at $5 if it's full.
This is not a math show. See, you keep talking about how much money they're gonna save doing math. Let's save some money doing subtraction.
Right. So what I'm saying is, spend the what are we at? $10.99 right now.
$10.99 normal retail $12.99. You're gonna save $2 on it.
So protect that $1,000 investment into your high-end equipment with an $11 box. That's a huge savings on that. It's one of the best jig boxes on the market for sure.
I think I got a test for us. I think we should do this. We should go live through the Real Shot Facebook page later on today. Fill this thing up with a bunch of lead, some of our bulk lead, and put it in the middle tank and see if how much it will take before it starts to sink.
I don't know if we could put enough weight in it to make it sink.
That sounds like a great challenge. I love that fact.
I've got some 3-ounce pencil weights that I think we can line up in there.
All right. So we're going to try that later on the Real Shot Facebook page. But you're watching this on TRS Live. You're watching it on the Real Shot social media pages. While you're over there, like, subscribe, follow, become a Fix TV member. We have a head-to-head event coming up. But again, this is a Rapala jig box. It's a small size. The dimensions are 4 3/4 by 4 by 2 inches wide, and this thing is perfect. We've talked about 236 total compartments are in this thing.
Absolutely.
Super lightweight. It's got so many benefits, not only for the ice fishermen or woman out there, but the shoreline fishermen, the open water fishermen and woman. I mean, there's a lot of benefits to this box, and I like where you went with it. The flies right away. That's
Absolutely.
one thing. My mind when I see this box, because I know what I use it for, goes to ice fishing.
Yep.
The fly box here and having a couple of different ones of these so you can just go out there and it's latched so tight that your buddy would struggle to get your secret fly out of that thing.
Absolutely, and they named it appropriately, right? They just call it generically jig box.
Yep.
This is a wide application box. You can put anything in there that you can really think of to put in there. Like I said, any small application stuff. I mean, I'm trying to think of some little things. A marabou jig box for bass.
Yep.
That'd be phenomenal.
Well, I was thinking too, we had Kyle Carpenter in here talking about drop shotting and Ned rigs. You could put some Ned hooks in here too.
Absolutely.
Some drop shot hooks in here. Now, you might have to get creative, but maybe some of your drop shot weights would fit in here with a little creativity. I don't know, man. There's so many different ways. I challenge you.
You have to test it out.
Yeah,
sure.
I challenge people at home to try to think of creative ways to do this. Look, I can't even close.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
human. But now this is one of these products that we've talked about it here for a little bit. Now this is one that we don't have ample supplies of right now. On thereelshot.com, there is less than 12 of these available. So if you're looking to stock up for either the rest of the open water season, or like Steve mentioned when he was here, get things now.
Absolutely.
Don't wait. Get things now. Tyson and the rest of the staff is working hard to keep the store and the website filled, but products are hard to come by. And this is one that is it's a no-brainer.
Yep.
We started the show with a no-brainer with the Flatworm. We're gonna end the show with a no-brainer with this small Rapala jig box. This is one that you're not gonna be upset that you purchased this thing. You're gonna find an application for it and you're gonna be super happy that you bought it, and you're gonna be even happier that you saved yourself some money.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, we covered a wide variety of products today on TRS Live, and this is just the start, everybody. I mean, we got so many cool things that we're coming up with, so many more savings, but our goal here at TRS Live is to save you money, but yet keep you out in the field. Plus, my cool thing is I get to talk to the knowledgeable staff that the Reel Shot has. I mean, these men are anglers, they're outdoorsmen. They are, like I referred to the Berkley guys, they are outdoor nerds.
Absolutely.
And they have the knowledge. And the cool thing too is you guys use this stuff.
That's correct.
We use these products. We know that some of this stuff, we'll tell you the trials and the tribulations of this stuff, but so far we're hitting home runs with the products that we covered today.
Absolutely. I mean, one of the key things here at the Reel Shot, we carry quality stuff.
Yep.
You know, if something, you know, we find out doesn't work or it has an issue, we're not going to bring it back because we don't want to give you guys products that you are not going to be successful with.
Right. So cool, everybody. Thank you so much. We're going to do this again on Friday. Watch for start times on that one. We got 4 more cool new products coming at you today. But if you're over here on the Reel Shot page, go over to TRS Live. Follow us over there. We have an Instagram page for TRS Live. We're going to be on the Fixed TV platform. We're going to be broadcasting to the Reel Shot socials. Subscribe and follow and like on all those platforms as well. But we're going to be doing this again on Friday. Watch the TRS Live page. Watch the TRS socials for updates on that time. We're going to have a bunch more products coming at you. And then hopefully with your support, we're going to build this bigger and better and awesomer and more cooler and everything above. So we're going to get out of here for today. Thanks so much for joining me, buddy.
Absolutely. Thanks for
You got to
having me.
get down and start selling some more of these jig boxes on the floor.
It is about that time.
It is about that time. Hey, we'll talk to you real soon, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day.